What's up, Algebra 2? Today we talked about problem solving with one or more numbers, and this was the one day I actually did go straight from the book with the examples. So since the word problems, I'm not going to write out the entire word problem. So if you're watching this video, you're going to want to have your book open to page 22, and I'm doing example 1. So the first thing it says is the second of three numbers. So I'm just going to stop right there. When you're dealing with a word problem, you want to figure out how many terms you're actually trying to find. So since it says the second of three numbers, I'm just going to go ahead and put first, second, and third. So now what I want to do is I want to establish values, or at least terms, for each of the first, second, and third numbers. So then we can create an equation. Now, my advice to you is one of these has to be x. So the one you want to establish as x is the second term that gets talked about. So in example 1, it says the second of three numbers is 4 times the first number. So the second of three numbers is 4 times the first. So therefore, since the first got talked about, second, I know it's kind of confusing, we're going to call that x. Okay? Whatever gets spoken about first, whatever gets spoken about second, you make that one x. So therefore, we have x as our first. So it says the second is 4 times that amount. So if we have x here, the second term is 4 times that. So 4x, okay? Let me erase that really quick. First term is x, therefore the second is 4x. Now, the third one, the next sentence says the third number is 5 less than the second. Now, whenever you see less than or more than, you're going to put that on the right of something. So it says 5 less than. So I'm going to put a minus 5 over here. 5 less than what? It says the third number is 5 less than the second number. And the second number here is 4x. So our third term is 4x minus 5. So now we've established some variables and we've established some terms. From this point, now we can actually create an equation. Okay? That's why now we go to the second sentence. Or the third sentence now of the problem. It says, if twice the first number, so right away, just write as you see, twice the first number, so 2 times the first number, okay, is decreased by, so decrease means minus, is decreased by the third number. Now this is our third number right here, so we're going to go ahead and put that in. But don't forget to put in parentheses, okay? Decreased by the third number. It says the result is, so equals, the result is, the same as 23 more than. Since it says more than, I'm going to put a plus 23 over here. 23 more than what? More than the second number. So our second number is 4x. Okay? Twice the first, decreased by the third, is equal to 23 more than our second term. Now we've set up our equation, we can just, now let's just do the algebra part of this. So we distribute the negative, so we have 2x minus 4x plus 5, because remember, negative times a negative is a positive, equals 4x plus 23. And from here you would want to combine like terms. So we have 2x minus 4x gives us negative 2x plus 5 equals 4x plus 23. Now, we're almost done. Well, let's get all the x's to one side, everything else to the other. I don't like negatives, so let's just move it over by adding. So plus 2x. So that'll cancel that out. Remember, you always do the opposite symbol. So that gives us 5 equals 6x plus 23. Since we move the x's to the right side, move what doesn't have the x to the left side. So we can subtract the 23. So you have negative 18 is equal to 6x. And finally, divide by 6. You get x is equal to negative 3. Okay? Now remember, this isn't our final answer. The question says, what are the three numbers? Once we solve for x, we can actually plug it in right up here. So x is negative 3. That's our first term. Negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. Negative 12 minus 5 more is negative 17. So actually, those three values over here on the left, that's going to be our answer. If x is negative 3, if our first term is negative 3, our second term, we just plug in negative 3, we get negative 12. And our third term is negative 17. So again, just take it one step at a time. The first thing you want to do, figure out how many answers you're going to have. In this case, we have 3. Now we have to establish expressions for each one. And remember, which one of them has to be just x. And the one that you establish to be x is the second term that gets talked about in the word problem. That gets established as x. So good luck with that. And watch it over and over if you need to. Alright? Good luck with that. Example. Whoops. Alright, so example 2 talks about consecutive integers. Okay? Consecutive integers. Consecutive mean one right after the other. Okay? Integer just talking about a whole number, whether positive or negative, or 0. Okay? Example 2 says find 3 consecutive odd integers. So again, establish how many answers we're looking for. We're looking for 3. Our first integer, our second integer, and our third integer. Okay? First, second, and third. So, what we want to do from there is figure out, it says consecutive odd integers. When you're dealing with integers consecutively, just establish the first one to be x. Every time. When it says consecutive integers, make your first one x. Well, how do we get to our second one? If you think about it, an odd integer, let's take the number 1. The next one is going to be 3. The next odd integer is 3. How do you get from 1 to 3? You add 2. So x plus 2. How do you get to the next odd integer after that? Add 2 more to that. So this becomes x plus 4. So now we've set up expressions for our 3 terms. Now we can make our equation. Okay? Our equation says, find 3 consecutive odd integers such that twice the sum of the first 2 integers. So twice the sum, so 2 times 2 terms that will be added. The sum means added. So we're going to add, it says, the first and second integer. So we're going to say x plus 2. Twice the sum of the first 2 integers. First integer, second integer. Okay? Decrease by the third. So decrease by the third one. Again, don't forget the parentheses. Decrease by the third is the same as equal. So is the same as, you can put equal sign. 20 less than. Since it says less than, we put the minus 20 over here. The second integer. 20 less than the second integer, which in this case is x plus 2. Okay? 20 less than our second integer right here. Now let's do a little distributing and combining like terms. So if I distribute to each term, I get 2x plus 2x plus 4. Distribute the negative, minus x minus 4 equals x. And I can combine the 2 minus 20 is negative 18. Okay? All I did was distribute, combine like terms. Now, since I don't have any more parentheses, I'm just going to combine like terms. 2x plus 2x is 4x minus 1x. So that gives me 3x. And again, 2x plus 2x minus x is 3x. 4 minus 4, those actually cancel each other out. So that makes this problem a little easier. Equals x minus 18. Now let's go ahead and move the x to the left side by subtracting. So now you have 3x minus 1x is 2x equals negative 18. Divide by 2. X is equal to negative 9. But that's not our final answer, okay? That found our first integer, but it's asking us to find all three consecutive odd integers. So if this is negative 9, I just add 2 to find my next. Negative 7. Negative 9 plus 4 is negative 5. And now we have our three consecutive odd integers. Again, take this one step at a time. If it's a consecutive even, you still use x, x plus 2, x plus 4. Okay? And if it just says consecutive integers, 1, 2, 3, that's an example of consecutive integers. It would be x, x plus 1, x plus 2. Because you're only adding by 1 each time. That's if it says consecutive integers. So, don't want to confuse you too much right now. So yeah, good luck with that. Ask questions if you need. And I hope you do well. So, work hard, ask questions, because I want to help you. Yes, good luck.